So welcome back, and today's presentation is going to be exceptions, console input validations, and let's go over that particular presentation. And that should be in line with this question. Uh, uh, how should I use try and catch blocks? Am I doing proper work if I use them inside a loop? How exactly the validation should work? And what impact does exception make on validation? So let's work with this. So the official handout is right here posted, but also, of course, you can find it in the outline for the course. So in the outline, I'm just showing you that this is number 7, which pretty much goes to to our midterm. So that's today's presentation. So let me go to just to discuss somewhat the error conditions. So we already started this conversation. So we need to distinguish those 3 classes of errors that we as programmers have to deal with. Syntax errors are perhaps the easiest to fix. Well, sometimes not, but most of the time, if you get a syntax error, you know that you cannot go any further from that point on. You really have to deal with it right now. Otherwise, you won't be able to do anything from this point forward. Runtime errors is when the syntax is okay, but errors throw exceptions. Typically, those types of errors are somewhat more difficult to fix. But when exception occurs, when an exception occurs, it typically points you to a place in the program, showing a program stack, showing you exactly where the problem has taken place. So that simplifies at least locating runtime errors. It doesn't mean necessarily that they are the easiest class of errors to deal with, but they're okay to deal with because typically you know where or which part of the program has crashed. So it gives you the information about the line of code. So let's do a quick demo on this, right? So let's say File, New Project. I will point myself to the drive that I use today, which is here on the E drive. How about projects? Okay, so I'll just say this will be location for my project, and today exceptions, EX demo. That will be the name of my project today. I still need my main app. Okay, so brand new project. So my task will be here. I will sort of like create a little plan for myself. Allocate a double value. Then I would like to get user input and make sure it's valid, right? So it's not some kind of garbage. And finally, to make it to put it in context or something, just say display the value. Display, how about this? Display the currency value. Like convert this double to a currency and display its value. All right, so let's try this. So first of all, I don't know, double amount. Okay, if we're talking about the currency, let's say double amount. Get user input and make sure it's valid. All right, so maybe something like this: amount equals get user input. Get user input. Takes no parameters, or maybe it should take a parameter says type your amount. How about that? Okay. So maybe this get user input method, which I'm about to create, will display this prompt. And finally, to display the currency value, I can say number, let's see, number format. Ugh, can't type today. This keyboard is really kind of strange. Number format equals number format get currency instance, and we can even use locale .us, for example. Then we can say system out print I can print the amount is and print what that amount is. And to print it, I will use another print statement. Print statement basically says format you know what, before I type this in, let me sort of like double click and say fixing ports. So I've got my number format and I've got my locale. So format dot format double, right? So format double is available. It's kind of unfortunate that I name my object the same name as the method. How about C format for currency format? So I'll use C format. C format for the name to name my object, get currency instance, and then format my amount. So how about this? And then also system dot out dot print line, just a single new line character at the end. All right, to be able to test this, I really need this get user input. But for now, I'd like to make sure that I can compile and run as soon as possible. So instead, I will just comment this out for just a second and just specify some sort of like a testing value. We'll just say testing, right? So testing, and we'll just say amount equals $15.50, right? Something like that. So let's run this. Make sure that everything compiles and runs. So here you go. So it prints the amount is $15.50. Now again, you know, if I wanted to round it, then the format would do something like this. So if I have, 7777 over here, for some reason, that's what I specified. If I run it again, then the rounding does take place. The rounding does take place as a result of the format operation. So some basic, steps to construct the program. So this is just for the testing purposes. The real work should be done in this get user input. Okay, so we're getting closer to do our validation of input and things of that nature. So let's save this segment.